So this is how to mass produce surgical caps for the Frontlines during the COVID-19 virus. So I'm going to make cutout pieces to make multiple masks at one time. So we're going to measure 24 inches and just cut and tear. And now I'm going to measure out pieces that are 9.5 inches wide. And we're just going to mark with a cut. And then we're just going to use our one piece that we measured to snip and tear. And we're going to do that all the way down. So now we have our pieces for our caps. That's our first piece. The next piece we need is the top part. I found this Tupperware that's the right measurement. So we just put it down, draw our circle, and cut it out. And then once it's cut out, it's going to be about this size. The caps have to tie together, so we can either make a tie like this out of fabric, but to save time, I found this cording. It's Hildy and Joe, and I just happen to have it. And it makes for a perfect tie for the back of the hat. So we're going to need 2 ties for the hat. We're going to measure them out at about 10 inches. Doesn't have to be perfect because we're trying to mass produce this. And each hat is going to need 2 ties. So we cut those out. And now we have all the pieces we need to put the hat together. So we'll do it real quickly here. We're going to take this piece of fabric, fold it in half, good sides together. We're going to put our ties in at the fold, facing into the fabric, into the hat. And those are going to go right at the fold. And we're just going to stitch straight down here. So we're going to fold it good sides together with our string inside. I like to do a lock stitch at the front at both ends to make sure that string doesn't pull. With the 2 ends, we're going to pull it and turn it right side out, and now we have our strings in there. That's going to be the bottom of our cap, and that's going to be what closes it together and holds it on people's heads. Don't worry about this edge of a fabric. We want to use as much fabric as possible. So, and these are just to get the caps made. That's going to be on the inside, so it doesn't really matter. So now we take our circle piece that we cut out, and we're going to put our good sides together. So obviously that's our bad side. We want that on the inside. If we weren't using the edge there, it wouldn't matter which side, but we want to put the good sides together. And now we're going to sew this long piece all the way around the circle. So once we finish sewing all the way around, we can turn it inside out, and we have the hat completed. But one of the most important things we found for the nurses and folks in the hospital is the masks. The masks are bothering their ears, so we wanted to add something that they can hook their masks on. So what I did was I just took that fabric strip that we talked about earlier, where we sewed it together, and I just made these little knots. So it's just a strip of fabric that I tied a knot in, folded it on itself, and then we can just sew it to the cap where it will sit on either side of their ears, and then they can hook the masks right onto the knot, and saves having to sew a button on there. Buttons are scarce these days. If you can't get to the store, we're trying to improvise. So that's how to make a surgical cap for the Frontlines.